What's going on, everyone? My name is John, and I'm with the Downriver Degenerates. This is our first ever podcast. So go ahead and introduce yourself, boys. Whoever wants to start off first.
My name's Joe, and I'm going to school for business.
All right.
Would you like to elaborate, motherfucker?
Oh,
Psych, my name's Eli, and I build shit.
That's what I like to hear.
He's a Union Welder.
All right, Crosby. What with you?
All right, my name's John. I put bad guys in jail.
Stupid.
I'm Justin. I also build shit. Yeah.
Go.
But I'm in a union, so I build shit in a union. Okay, what up, D Muse? You do. David?
We're not on. There we go. Name's David. Business school, Forex trader, ITN, cybersecurity, baby.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah, brother.
That's the IT gang world. Come on.
Yeah, so basically our main goal with the podcast is just to get everybody together and just talk about random shit because we just talk about anything really. And we were going to do our first podcast in Eli's place, but because of the whole coronavirus thing, we can't. So we're just doing it over Skype in the meantime.
Quarantines.
Yeah, so let's talk about this coronavirus. How about that? Let's talk about
Oh, man.
I had to stockpile up on these things right here.
Jesus. There you go.
I had an old lady at Kroger for the last 6-pack of these. It was so worth it.
That's what I like to hear.
I just want to say, 1912, the flu killed over 60 million people. So this ain't shit. All right.
Yeah, basically.
So.
I mean, we're like what, like top 5 in the country now?
Oh yeah.
Top 5 in the country,
5
baby.
states. Yeah, we're top 5. We're in Michigan, so we have like over 10,000 cases now.
Michigan, number 1.
We're about to be number 1, though.
Gang, gang.
So where did this coronavirus originate from?
Well, your mic is sounding crappy right now.
Another stroke?
How does it sound now?
Don't put it in your mouth. It doesn't have to do with your mic. It has to do with your internet.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
I don't know. Well, obviously it originated in China.
Off of fucking bats.
Off of bats. Someone ate a bat. They Ozzy Osbourne that shit.
And it was Coomer. Ate the
It
bat.
was Coomer. Yeah, basically. Coomer's the bat.
So how do you think? How do you personally think the media is handling all this? You think they're overhyping it? Like what?
How do you personally think the media is handling this?
I mean, in my opinion, I feel like the media's kind of taking it out of proportion.
I think the media wants people scared for mass hysteria so they can control us.
Yeah, more than likely, honestly. You never know.
I think those dead bodies in the refrigerators, man, and those freezer trucks, they're all going to Mars.
That's my theory.
You know what? No, I had a guy at work talking about that. He was making this whole conspiracy theory about how all these bodies are going into these trucks, then they're going to just ship them off to Mars in these rocket ships that the government's building.
That's interesting.
I think
Justin left.
it's only going to get worse from here.
Justin left the call.
No.
That's weird.
Let's just talk about how we're going to make more money unemployed than we are working now.
Yeah,
ain't that
honestly,
something?
that's the shitty part is like my work called me and they're like so basically because of unemployment we're gonna call people eventually to start working again and we're gonna really test who's gonna work. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna be making more money off unemployment than I am actually like getting up early and working there for 10 hours a day versus me literally just chilling at home, which absolutely makes no sense. But honestly, like, as far as like Michigan goes, we should really be like, because since we're one of the top states, we should honestly be like quarantined for a long fucking time. Versus
Like,
even though they're
cases it's like New York, Detroit, and like Louisiana.
yeah, it's
And then I read a thing that said like Detroit's gonna be like one of the top one of the first states to start implementing the COVID-19 test that the government's gonna watch.
yeah.
So
That'd be a good idea.
It makes you sit there and think like, wow, like I think it's worse than what they're telling us personally.
Yeah, because they're only showing literally like how many people are getting infected versus how many people are recovering, and they're telling us how many deaths and all this stuff just to like make it, which I can see why, to kind of make us more aware of it.
More aware, more precautions. Well, when I was doing the numbers earlier, it is 0.03% of people dying that have it.
Yeah.
One thing that I think it's more serious than the flu, because like you hear people say like, oh, it it's like it's just like the flu, but like the flu you can pick up symptoms. Some parts of the strain, like some people don't even realize that they have it, spreading it, which makes it, you know what I mean, which makes it a little more nerve-wracking, because it's like, how are you supposed to, take all these necessary precautions and do the right things when you don't even know like you have it? You know what I mean?
Right, and especially because like usually like with diseases and stuff, it takes about like until you show symptoms to be able to start spreading it. Versus this virus, it's like, as soon as you get it, literally like hours later, you can start spreading it and you won't even know.
Yeah.
Because of that 15, 14-day period until you start showing symptoms, if you do, which is insane. I don't know.
It's scary, man.
Yeah.
The insane thing about it, though, is like this drive-up testing at the hospitals, too. Like, you got to have all the symptoms to even get tested for, which personally, me thinking, that's, it's a little screwy, but it's cool. It's cool how the hospital.
Because like when I was sick, and I went to Beaumont. That was like my first stop, was to go to the coronavirus screening. They were like, because all I was showing was coughing and a runny nose, and I had no fever, nothing. They wouldn't even test me there because they said I didn't even meet criteria. So I was like, okay. And then I went to my primary doctor, and she claimed I already had it, and she was nervous and did my test and shit. And then it came back negative, thank God. But like I said, not everyone shows all the symptoms. So what if, let's say Beaumont or whatever hospital was just like, oh, you didn't meet criteria, but they actually do, because I doubt everybody's going to show a fever or, pneumonia and shit like that.
Did that happen to like a kid like in Redford or something like that? Like he wasn't showing the symptoms and he was showing symptoms but it didn't test him or something. He died from it.
Oh shit! I didn't even know about that.
I think when this first started, though, they said that it only goes after people that are older than 65 that have severe underlying health issues. Now you see these kids like in like metropolitan areas that are like our age, like young adults, even teenagers that like are on ventilators and stuff because they can't even breathe. And like these are kids that are like healthy, active, play sports and stuff.
And smoke 30 years of vape in 2 years.
Exactly. It's not like that.
Eat 2 pounds of Cheez-Its.
How was that swab up your nose, John?
It was uncomfortable, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the test is like I don't know what other tests do, I forgot, but they literally like stuck like this freaking like Q-tip end, and it's like some metal like band, and like goes all the way up, bro, like to my freaking brain, it felt like, and they did it on both sides. And it didn't hurt. It was just uncomfortable. And my eyes were tearing up and shit. I just wanted to leave, bro. But she literally like was fidgeting around and was nervous. And she literally like closed the door on me. And I was like, I didn't even hear what she said. And she was like, go home and wear a mask. And I was like, okay. So I was leaving and she was like 50 feet away from me writing down stuff. And she didn't even say bye to me. She just looked at me and looked away. I was like, damn, bro. Yeah, I'm like, bro, like that's unprofessional as hell.
But see, the other thing too that gets me is like, everybody is different. Their bodies are different. Everyone fights off stuff in different ways, So, you can have all the symptoms except this, right? So how is a hospital going to say, well, you don't have this symptom, you don't have it, we're not testing you?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why I'm kind of glad they're they're putting these like, what is it, like 15, 45-minute tests now. That's because for me, it took me like 12 days to even get my test back. And I guess that's like was normal at the time. And now they're saying that there's like 45-minute tests and stuff like that, which is nicer because a lot of people will go home thinking they don't have it. Next thing you know, they do have it. So I don't know. It's just stupid. But how's it impacted your guys' life?
I've been chilling at home, doing all the homework and shit on the computer. I feel a lot more productive, just like, because you really got other shit to do, like, can't go anywhere, can't really do anything. So I just been busting out homework. I have stuff all the way done to the end of the month for, like, certain classes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, work's still been the same. Nothing really changed for me because I'm essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just been able to stay home more, get more homework done.
That's crazy, man.
I don't think
It's kind of annoying for me because, like, since I deal with, like, steals and vendors and all that, it's always, every day it's something new. So, like, we punch in for work, so now we can't put it on our cubbies, so now we have to put it on our tables. It's always something, it's kind of annoying to the point where it's like, I might as well just file for unemployment, if I don't feel comfortable,
Yeah, honestly.
Oh.
That's how it should be. And that's why I'm kind of glad my work is, like, shortening staff, but then they're talking about bringing a lot more people back, but at the same time, it's like, it's not safe to do all that, especially because a lot of them there I work with are older.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, especially because I have asthma, so I don't know how it's gonna, like, if I do get it for real, I don't know how it'll affect me. But, I really don't want to catch it because I get sick pretty easy. So at the same time, it's like, it's not really worth going to work over that shit.
Yeah, it's like this morning, my dad, he told me, he was like, hey, he got an email from saying one of the vendors out, so-and-so, they tested positive, and we don't know who, like, and they came in, like, yesterday. So, like, we're all freaking out, like, saying, like, damn, like, what if you, like, spread it around the shop? So, like, we're all, like, freaking out and shit, which is kind of scary. So, who knows? We're all gonna die from it, so who cares? Ship our bodies out to Mars. Who cares, dude? We put chips in our ass and just shoot us out there, start a new life.
So how much do you think this is going to change?
Some airports are, like, some airport hangars are, like, designating, like, there's so many people that are dying at one time that they're designating airport hangars to, like, stash the bodies and, like, hang them up and put them in big coolers and stuff, and they're, like, renting out meat trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, New York is they're running out the reefer trucks, putting a lot of the bodies in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're north of 100,000 cases now. 3,000 deaths in New York alone.
Damn. It's
So, like,
it's also because that state, man, they're so crammed together.
Yeah, there's 8 million people in New York City alone.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
But what gets me
think this is going to change the overall climate of, like, our country and the world after this is all said and done?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's, I wouldn't say I'm glad this happened, but the fact that people are just now trying to start taking care of themselves because of this virus, it's actually sad. Like, people were never so cautious before about, hanging out with people and cleaning themselves and all this shit until now, which is kind of sad, which I don't understand.
Yeah, the hand washing thing. I always seen, like, grimy ass people just walking out the bathroom.
Yeah, bro.
All the time.
I was
so
doing
bad.
that 20 seconds my whole life, bro. I don't know what these nasty ass people are.
Like, when I sit back and think about it, y'all haven't really been washing your hands every time you pee.
Goomer! Whoa! Goomer, get a new mic or get the hell out. Jesus Christ.
Your mic's lagging, bro.
What's up,
bro? That's the first slip up. That's the first slip up, bro.
What'd you
You
say?
only do audio only then.
Honestly.
What'd you do?
Can we edit that?
Homer screwed up.
You're such an idiot, bro.
We got Callie in this cut.
Kelly, give me your
All right,
girl.
all right.
All right, let's go back to what we were talking about.
What are-
The
what are we talking
coronavirus,
about?
Justin. We're talking about the coronavirus. How do you think it's going to change our day-to-day lives after, I guess it's all over? But I also heard it's going to be like
Yeah,
a seasonal.
it's gonna turn. I think it's gonna turn to an endemic. An endemic is essentially what a flu or a cold is. It's gonna be around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Where'd
it's
everyone
gonna,
else go?
I think it's gonna run its course like every other pandemic we've had. You know. I mean,
Yeah, but this one I think they were saying it mutates kind of slower to the point where if they do make a vaccine, it can possibly give you a lifelong immunity to it. But if it keeps mutating fast, then it's just gonna be something that comes around every fall. Every
Something
winter.
like the yearly
You
flu.
guys seen, but like today I was watching the news, and they said that the Chinese government is starting to get worried because there's like a second wave coming through. So they're putting all these like huge restrictions on. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy to think like our country, the United States, has surpassed like Italy, Japan, Spain, and China within like a month and a half period, and like we're still
That's
we're
like
still
2.5
not even.
weeks.
I don't know
we're
what I think. I think
we're
China's
still-
lying about a lot of their numbers.
Yes, I
Well,
believe that too.
That's fact.
Yeah.
It's not. You think it's fact. They had Central Intelligence agents sent over there to see if they were lying about their numbers, and they confirmed that they were.
I
Oh,
think
really?
wholeheartedly
Yeah.
this is a man-made.
Yeah, because how do you figure China has 1 billion people in that small area,
China
and
has
you only have
1.7
50 people
billion
infected?
people.
There was a thing they did a
Dog,
special NBC
What are you
News.
talking about, Cooper?
There was a
What'd
thing
you say?
it was like the head
You
doctor.
only have
had-
like 50,000 people infected last time I checked when the U.S. surpassed them.
Cooper, please stop. Just nod your head, yes or no.
Say,
All right, dude. Please. Oh,
Did you
my
guys
God.
see the Chinese doctor that like was gonna sound the alarm on this whole thing though? Like she's been missing for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
That's
Doesn't
crazy.
surprise me.
Also, from what my dad told me today, and I don't know if it's true or not, but other like the main like some of the main parts in China didn't even have one single case either. Like it's only like Wuhan and like whatever other places, but it's none of like the main cities that have more populations, which doesn't make sense. I don't know if it's true, but like that blows my mind because it's like what else are they hiding, or there's something going on, but you
Well,
never know.
I think Russia did it right. Did you see how Russia really has any cases because they closed everything and they won't even let people like in or out?
we're gonna
That's
go
good.
to that. We're gonna get
That's
to the
what we
point where
need,
they-
man.
we're
To
gonna
us,
get-
like, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that point where they close everything except hospitals.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get to that point.
Yeah, especially here in Michigan because it's getting worse. It's
Think
not
that
even it's not
one-
declining whatsoever.
One thing I believe that you're gonna see with everybody after this whole thing is like you look at the healthcare system and how stressed out and how overwhelmed everybody is. Like we rely on other countries, like primarily China, for like our pharmaceuticals and like our medical supplies. Like we need to quit relying on other people and start like bringing all the manufacturing and stuff like that back home.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like
Because
half
like
the shit we have-
could you imagine one of those countries just being like, no, we're not gonna help you? Like we would be so screwed.
Well,
Or
if
Russia,
don't
they just
help
sent over a
us-
bunch of supplies
They
not
did.
too long ago.
General Motors, Ford, like they're all stepping up making ventilators, and Ford Motor Company's been making ventilators, masks, like they've been going out of their way. It's like it's crazy to think like if we didn't have that stuff and like it's
Last time
imaginable,
they
like trying to
that
rely
was
on other.
the World War. Stepped up and started making military parts.
Yep.
that's crazy. That'd be so much better if we just start doing everything on our own. But the problem with that is like literally all these business owners are being stingy. Like they don't want to pay more. So it's like it gets to that weird like point and like you're kind of stuck and you're just like, oh, whatever, I guess. They want to find a way to keep making money. It's just so stupid.
I didn't think this shit was that real at all until Big Three shut down, man. That's when I was like, holy shit. This is
That's
really
what
gonna be
Buddy, like, in the, like, especially for us, especially ownership, was talking about that. He was like, I never seen that guy get so stressed out in my life. He was like, he was inside like GM. He was inside the Renaissance, like not the Renaissance building, yeah, the Renaissance building or some shit like that.
Rensen?
The Rensen. He was inside the Rensen when like GM went bankrupt, and he said like he thought that was worse when this was even worse. Or he was like, that's when everybody was like, man, if the big three shuts down, that's it, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
guys we get work for, like, dude, like, we're
Well,
done.
dude, we're the motor city. I mean,
Like, we're
really.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like you had the big three, all the three automakers here in this one state. Like I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how
Yeah,
this.
'cause I remember talking at work, like back November, December. Guy at work was like, "Hey, you see this virus out in China?" I always said, "Man, you're crazy. That won't ever get here." Little by little, start spreading.
Crazy,
Start spreading.
dog.
Well, that's
Right.
what kind of freaked me out because when I was in LA in February, like we heard that there was like a case in San Francisco and in LAX like a month before we were there. So then like all of us got paranoid because we started getting sick when we got back. So
Oh.
we thought we had it. That's why we got sick. I don't know if it's because of the climate change because we went from like 80 degrees and sunny back to this at like 30 degrees and snowy. So I thought that might have been why we got sick, but we started getting paranoid about it because we're on a plane, bro, and everyone's touching everything there, and everyone's
Why did
wearing
you go
masks, but masks don't help.
When did you go there?
What do you mean?
Like what month? Like when did you go there?
Huh?
Like what month? When did you go there?
I went February 19th, and we left the 26th at night.
Oh,
So, and that's when we heard the
That was-
case.
right before everything.
Yeah.
Popped in Michigan.
That's why I'm kind of glad we went at that time. Like, it kind of worked out good. Because we weren't thinking of the virus when we were in LA either. We were going all different places and stuff like that, going to different stores. And that's why I started getting paranoid about it because I was like, I don't know. Because we went everywhere out there,
I mean,
especially in Melrose and Fairfax.
Right. I mean, we just went to the Garth Brooks concert, February 22nd.
70,000 people.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
Jesus.
you know,
That's
Imagine if one person had it, bro, and you just ruined it all
Yeah.
for all of us.
Garth Brooks said, fuck this. I'm out.
I am playing no more. Fuck y'all.
honestly.
I got friends. Huh? There's Corona here? Nah.
I'm out.
Nah. Peace.
Said peace.
Peace, boy.
That's crazy, dude.
Another thing that's annoying thing about this thing too is like, fuck, and like, I seen a video yesterday. Like the Taylor police were kicking people out of the Paragus Park because they were like, "Go the fuck home." That's the other thing too. If you don't have to go out, fucking stay at home, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Stay home,
understand.
play Xbox, play PlayStation,
Do
play
something.
online games with friends.
Like,
Right.
fuck.
Well, yeah, now they just changed it to where if they like catch you going anywhere that's not essential, you can get up to like what, over $1,000 in fines now?
Yeah.
$1,000 fine.
That's like half your check.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is that this essential line is so vague. Like you can really make anything sound essential, you know?
Right.
They just need to stop
exactly.
making recommendations and just say, you know what, this is it.
Well, they half the time they say stuff they don't even know like what is essential. Then people get confused, and then that's just how big that's how they create miscommunication.
Right.
It's
It's very vague on the law. They don't
Yeah.
define what is what.
Because they're saying, okay, you guys need to stay in your houses, but you can go to McDonald's. Like you can go to Taco
Basically.
Bell.
look at some other
What?
places. Look at Justin's. This is one way I look at it. Look at Justin's job. Like I would personally think like that's an essential job. Like you're working towards something. And now you take him out of work, but you say like McDonald's is essential. Like I gotta understand that.
And that's what sucks is a lot of those like under minimum wage jobs or minimum wage jobs, they could be making more than what they're making there just off unemployment, but they're stuck there
My
because they're
thing is,
essential.
You would want to minimize like the places.
Minimize
where-
contact.
here's my thing. I know like all the big grocery stores are all essential because obviously people need food to
Absolutely.
keep it stocked. My thing is, why do they keep it open to the public when you could just order online? Like I have somebody drop my groceries
Right.
off on my front porch from
Right.
Kroger. Like you can just place your order online, have them deliver it, and nobody
Right.
even go in the store at all.
Do you
Right.
guys? This is
And
my
that
like,
would reduce hoarding because you
Like-
can only order so much online.
Right.
this would probably be my question to your guys. So far, this has been a really good topic, and like everybody's had a lot of good opinions, and we've put out a lot of good points. Like, do you guys see it? If it gets worse, do you guys think that it would come down to like a martial law situation?
Yeah.
I personally believe that they
Now,
can try,
like with
but then
everything,
you're gonna have
everyone's obviously pointed out a lot of good facts.
Like-
Everybody has good points and different views, but could you see it coming to that point within this year?
it
For
can
major
get being
cities, yeah.
attempted.
If works.
Within a year, I think it's gonna happen like within like a couple months. They're gonna call in the National Guard and actually like do
So
it.
then
out.
FEMA's gonna be all over the
FEMA's gonna be all
entire
over.
streets. That's kind of what I'm waiting about, because like when I was originally studying for Border Patrol and we were doing emergency management, my Professor Wicker, he was like, the only way like that we would get wiped out or martial law would be either a natural disaster or, you know, obviously global warfare, and then it would be a disease. And now we're at that point. So I honestly think, I mean, it's got to get to a point where we can't even leave our house. Like even Italy was doing that, like
You
where
see
you
what
needed a permission.
The Philippines are at right now.
Uh-uh.
The Philippines,
They're shooting everyone that violates the law.
If you leave your house, you get you could be shot and killed.
What the fuck?
Damn.
Yep.
Have you seen? Eli tagged me this video on.
Oh, but the Indian dudes,
There's-
they stabbed people with
There's these
sticks.
guys. There's
Yeah,
these guys
in
in
India.
India riding around on motorcycles. They just have this big ass stick. Whenever they see people riding around, like. Dude, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
I don't know if you guys seen it. It was kind of sad. Like this 90-year-old lady was like, "I've lived a good life. Like I don't need to be here anymore. Like save somebody else." And, like she gave up the hospital bed. She signed all the documents
Oh.
and stuff. Like gave everything
Oh,
up, and
oh.
she ended up passing away because of it. But it's just like,
Well, they're allowing nurses. Well, they're giving nurses the power now to work on codes. Like if people are dying, so they can decide who is on a ventilator and who's not. You know.
I seen today on TV that New York City is not like all EMS, like paramedics have been notified that if you're responding to a call for like a cardiac arrest, you can't bring them to a hospital. Like it's
Yeah.
take them.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Damn,
Yep.
dude. That's insane.
Yeah, because there's another hospital here, one hospital system. I know they were saying
Keep going. You're good.
they were saying pretty much who gets a ventilator and who doesn't. If you're too far gone, you're not getting one. But if you seem like you're curable, you're getting one.
Keep going.
Sounds like you're on autotune.
Not like T-Pain, dude.
That's awesome.
All right, keep going, bro. Got this.
This is gonna
Personally, I just
Go through
know,
300 ventilators.
that's
per-
messed up. Like deciding who gets to live and who dies.
This motherfucker sounds like we got T-Pain in the podcast. What up, bro?
Hey, record that. Send it to the group chat. Record it.
We got
No, but,
motherfucker.
But yeah, that's
Oh,
wild.
but
man. I don't know. I feel like hopefully it kind of slows down, but honestly, from what it's looking at for me right now, in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna slow down for a while. Like
It's
at
not.
least close to the end of the year. But I feel like when it gets to the end of the year, that's when it's cold again, and that's the problem is that we're in Michigan, and that's when the flu comes around, and that's when they say that this disease is gonna come around, isn't during the cold.
Well, here's the thing. Like, we're going through the heat of it right now. Once you catch it and once you get rid of it, you can't catch it again. You become immune to any virus strain that enters your body.
Right.
So their plan is like to keep this lockdown pretty strict, and then once people start recovering, they won't be able to catch it anymore. So that's why they think like it's just gonna keep spiking up until the end of the year.
And after
Let's
that,
see,
they can start putting antibodies into people that already recovered from it, and the people that are sick from it, and then they'll just beat it.
Let's see what I've seen. A few posts online, like it makes you think. You have all these symptoms of having it, like the cough, the fever, all that stuff, and like I know I've seen a lot of people in these forums saying, "Yeah, I had all those same symptoms. Flu test came back negative," and they designated it as a respiratory infection, and that's what what the virus attacks is your respiratory system. So it's food for thought. What if it was here earlier than we thought?
Goomer, get some new Wi-Fi.
That's what I
Please.
was saying too. Like back in like November and December, people were getting admitted into the hospital with like flu-like symptoms, and they got tested for every single flu strain, and like they were negative for every single one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was one of those people.
I was pretty sick back in November, so I don't know.
Have you seen those chips that are like on the docks of like New Jersey and New York? They're only taking people that don't have coronavirus because the hospitals are so flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mercy and everything.
That's wild, dude. We're living in a weird time right now. That's crazy because like on New Year's, everyone was like, "New Year, new me."
We're gonna make
I'ma
a
do
move
it.
this year.
Yeah, we're making
It's
moves
gonna be
this
my
year.
bro.
Hey, I saw
No.
a funny ass tweet. Somebody said like, "Why the fuck did I even buy a 2020 planner?"
I like that.
That's
Bro,
great.
like, you can't make moves. You can't even go to work.
Let me write down what I'm doing. Pretty much, you might as well have a diary at this point instead of a fucking planner.
All I gotta say is that people are collecting this unemployment and stuff like that. I don't ever want to hear after this like virus is done that no one's got money, bro. Because I know damn well people got money
The guy
now.
on the bottom left.
Hey,
The
shoot
guy
your,
on the bottom left.
hey, listen. A lot of people you shoot your shot with any girl you want, man. They ain't doing
Staying
nothing.
busy.
They're sitting inside, bro.
Staying busy.
Shop,
How
bro.
you gonna shoot your
Busy.
shot if they're chilling at their house?
Working and chill, baby. Zoom and watch Netflix, dog.
Quarantine and
Eli's
chill,
gonna be
baby.
like,
Listen,
Quarantine and chill.
I'm gonna hang out and trade hand sanitizer. Like, what you trying to
What's
do?
up, babe?
He'll be like Tom Brady and his
Got
kid.
TP for days.
Joe's out here like, "Hey babe, put your arms out."
Kiss me through the phone.
Before y'all kiss, you like put fucking hand sanitizer on your lips.
You're like fucking Lysol on your camera.
You want to go on a date? You guys are like Eskimo kissing with like N95 masks on and shit.
See, I think when this really got serious for me,
Eli's over there passed out.
the moment I realized that this was getting real was because at my work, it's a construction materials company, so we have like face masks and stuff. All of our face masks sold out within an hour of opening.
Oh shit! Really?
Some dude by himself bought like 50, and there was like cases of like boxes of 10 each, and like all these people like they were only going there for face masks to the point we had to stop like people from buying them so we can sell them to actual contractors that actually need them. So it was like, I don't know, man, it's crazy.
Thing was though,
What up, bro?
when this first broke out, even people at my work were telling me, like, you have to.
Oh, the
Bro,
feedback.
hey.
Hey,
Whoa, calm down.
Uh,
Keep going.
But like even people at my work, like they were saying, like, okay, we have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. Now, you guys aren't really in the trades, kind of like Solus is kind of in the trades, whatever. But being in the trades is really hard to stay 6 feet away from each other. It's like almost impossible half the time, you know.
Yeah.
So you gotta close down shit like that.
Yeah, that's what my dad was saying because he's working in Ohio right now, and Ohio's even thinking about closing the border between Ohio and Michigan because of how, and not only that, but because of this whole thing for the tradesmen that need work. That since my dad has to work there, it's causing problems with like Ohio workers over there because now they think they're stealing jobs and stuff like that, which is stupid. And so like
Michigan's
none of
gonna
them
go
get
build a
along
wall.
over there.
That's
Honestly,
how you go, bro.
It's
No, that's
gonna be
how
a
you
big ass
go.
wall.
Going.
Fuck.
It's
That's
crazy,
how you
dude.
go. Going.
it's gonna turn into like civil walls and stuff around plastic.
On a
Imagine.
conspiracy though, like kind of not like piggybacking off what like Soul said, but like you see like all these like gun stores and like people freaking out about like firearms and ammunition. Like I think if it gets worse, I do think that you're gonna see a lot of more. I think it's only gonna like people are just gonna act different. Crime's gonna go up, property crime is gonna go up, and especially law enforcement's not responding to certain crimes that are being committed. Like I think people are. I mean, you can push a person. Every person's different. You can push them to their breaking point, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. You just got to be careful.
What to
Yeah,
go off what
dude.
you said, Detroit police, they are actually stopping a lot of contacts. It's only for serious felonies, I believe, what they're arresting for.
They won't.
So like carjacking, theft, auto theft. yeah, they're not stopping people for that. They're just doing like felonies and stuff.
It's crazy.
Well, that
Like even
when the guy that carjacked that lady down there, got in that chase.
Yeah.
That was pretty intense.
yeah, and
Oh,
like to
I
go
saw
off by
this.
like the firearms and ammo too is like even like to get like all these like websites and stuff are price gouging like crazy now for ammo.
Like
one-
cheaper
Is it true
than dirt.
Is it
Yeah.
true that they're putting like
Cheaper
a
than
weak
dirt and,
hold
like,
on buying
palmetto.
firearms?
What's up?
Is it true that they're putting a weak hold on firearms? That's what I heard.
I don't know. I hope not.
See, one thing makes, like in the times we live in now, I don't know about you guys. Like, I couldn't drop a certain amount of money and then not know like the certainty of the order, and then like have it come in 3 weeks. Like, that makes me.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is they
Nice,
didn't
bro.
tell us when we ordered this that ammo I bought like when we were playing Xbox and I bought that ammo. They sent me my hollow points, but they didn't even send my dad's ammo that he got on top. So we're like, where's our whatever money we spent? I think it was like $30 for his box. Like we don't even know where it's at, and we've tried calling, and they won't answer, and they won't give us a valid point as to where it went. And then now they tell us, oh, it's on hold, or
That's-
oh, we're out of stock right now. Okay, why didn't you guys put that on your website? Like,
I'm just glad I bought my 500 green tips, baby. Don't fuck with me, bro. Fuck with me. I'm strapped.
Eli's over there froze up, still sipping on that same
yeah,
sip.
we're pretty big in Michigan when it comes to fire.
Oh, am I?
5
Nope.
seconds.
Yeah, you're
All
frozen.
right, hold up.
Well, I think we know that Eli.
Hey, I gotta get off.
What's up?
John?
So I'm about to head out. Get
Oh,
the
damn.
timer and hit the hay.
Thank
All
God.
right, Coomer.
What about now?
Close.
Good.
There you go. All right, see you, Coomer.
Take it
All right,
easy.
y'all have a good night.
Have a good night.
Eli, you refroze right
Yeah.
as you said. How about now?
But yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Poor kid's mic was so fucked
We're
up.
in a weird time right now.
Very hard time.
Weird time. The best time to start binge watching shows, basically.
All right, one.
Yeah, my mom's out there watching the Tiger King right now.
Oh hell yeah.
That,
A funny show, funny show.
that show is weird, bro. Christ.
You see, he
Eli,
caught
you
it.
good?
He caught COVID-19 in jail.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Same with that YNW Melly guy that seems
You gotta kill friends.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, he caught it.
Dude, he's about to get out. Yeah, he caught it though.
What's his
Yeah,
face?
dude.
He's got it too. That Harvey Weinstein on Rikers Island.
He
That's
got that
karma,
a
bro.
week ago.
He's gonna get COVID's gonna get him, bro, for killing his
Dude.
buddy. That's what he's gonna get, bro.
Eli's been smiling for the past minute, and I like to think that.
Are you fucking serious? It keeps like.
I like to think he's still
I
smiling,
put that
bro.
smile on that frozen face.
I like to think he's still smiling. I like to think.
All right, I'm gonna join right back. Hold up.
It's a beautiful sight right there.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's weird shit, man. We're experiencing right now.
that's crazy because I'm president of the ISM association at school, and like I think the day before, so the 12th of March is when they kind of closed everything down. But the day before, I was planning 2 conventions or like conferences. One was in Grand Rapids, one was in Illinois, and I was sending like 5 members to each one. And literally, I was in the process of buying the hotels and the flights, and then they canceled it, so I had to like cancel everything. It was pretty crazy. Just canceling everything, like every meeting.
Listen, all I'm worried about is Motley Crue concert. If they cancel that shit, I'm gonna kill myself.
Eli, you're frozen again.
Yeah.
Are you
You're
fucking
frozen.
kidding me?
I think you just hit the bug.
Yeah, bro.
Well, yeah,
Molly,
even like
go
with me and
down.
with
Uh,
yeah, like even with me and Dave, we were supposed to go see Lil Baby in May 10th, I think.
He postponed it. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's postponed. So
Garth Brooks, baby, February 22nd.
Oh, that's the concert of the year, baby. Glad we went. No, fucking, I don't know. Like Motley Crue is like that concert's in like a weird bubble. Like it's August, so you don't know if that's
Like,
gonna.
people don't know if it's still going to be going on, or they
It
don't.
will be.
Right.
It
You
will
think
be.
so?
I
Yeah,
hope.
100%. 100%. This thing's riding out.
Well, because I was supposed to be off work till March 30th. Now they're saying April 30th or even June 3rd. Now
Yeah.
it's like, shit, man.
Did the
know?
governor ever make it for like the inside order thing to June 9th now or no?
I don't know.
She wanted for 70 days. I don't think she sent it through yet to get approved.
But she's
Oh.
hinting at it. She's very much hinting at it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we need to do for sure, honestly.
I'm still frozen.
Eli, you've been frozen for a long time, buddy.
You look like you just seen Casper the Ghost.
But like this task force that meets up every single day in CDC and everything, they're like giving out recommendations. Nobody follows recommendations. Nobody ever has. Nobody ever will. You have to
Right.
kind of just force
have
it
to
upon
demand-
people. Yeah.
Because even me, if I hear a recommendation, I'm like, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah,
big
that's
deal.
with anything in life. Like your
Right.
doctor says, I recommend you do this. You're not gonna do it.
No.
Yeah.
Recommend you run 2 miles a day. You're like, yeah, I'll do that once every month.
You need to stop drinking alcohol. No.
Yeah,
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
does. You gotta stop. There's a point where you just gotta draw the line and say, you know what?
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to listen, fuck it. You know?
On you.
Yeah.
And that,
Especially
and that,
people that have kids and shit, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
some
I
of those
actually-
people, they're arrogant as shit and they don't want to listen. Next thing you know, they're not going to be saying that when their kid ends up in the hospital over
Yeah,
this.
here's the thing. You'll see people like saying, oh, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. They're going out. They get sick. Somebody in the family gets sick. They recover, and then they become some movement activist for the fucking disease.
Well,
They
think
were
of
the one who was doing
people
all
that
this
are
shit
so
before.
careless that they put other
Right.
people at this too. Like,
right. Because, hey, if I go out and I catch it, well, I'm going to put my grandparents at risk. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what you got to worry about. Not
Right.
me. You gotta
I
worry
only
about
left
me.
my house one time since like I actually got in my car since March 12th. I got in my car one time. My gas tank's still on full because I filled it up that day. But I left my house one time to go to the bank to put money in the bank because I had all my money like just stashed away in safe, and I didn't know if I'd be able to use that cash and everything would be shifted online. So I'm glad I did that because
Yeah.
now I buy the
Anybody
groceries
watching
online.
this podcast, bro, $1.14 on God and Allen, baby.
Yeah.
that's 99 cents.
It's 99 cents.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Dearborn.
bro. Oh, Dearborn.
Gas,
Yep, Marathon.
gas is 99
Yeah.
cents a gallon.
That's
Well, that
crazy.
wasn't just the coronavirus too. There was multiple factors with that. That was
Oh,
a
yeah,
Saudi-Russian price war.
Yep. Barrels
Did you
going.
did you see they made an agreement though?
That
Did you see that? Yeah. Did you see that they made an agreement though?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of forced. Like everybody's
they say,
like,
like,
"Fucking grow
They-
up."
yeah, because they're saying if we don't raise the gas prices, the economy is really gonna fucking tank.
Yeah.
They came to an agreement, and I guess gas prices are gonna skyrocket now. Well, not skyrocket, but definitely more than 99 cents. So,
They were saying that this is going to lead us into a recession at the end of the year.
a
I
fucking
love-
depression, bro.
Not a depression, just a recession.
I don't know, man. That ain't new.
No, my little in the fraternity, the kid's a genius, and we asked him what he thought about it, and he's been analyzing it constantly, and he said depression's kind of far-fetched.
Really?
Yeah, but recession more than likely, yeah.
Like a 2008 recession? Like bad?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
They've been saying this for the past year and a half, though. That
It
it's
wasn't.
like
It wasn't.
that
Yeah,
it's
they were.
it's taken our cycle since 2008, and it's
Are we due for one?
The
Or
thing is,
something?
there's not a cycle recession like the '08 recession. When we get a recession, it's nothing like that. It was like minimal stuff, like
Well, I know statistics, you know.
yeah, it was just
Statistically,
minimal.
They say, yeah.
But like they weren't expecting a virus to be the cause of a recession. They were expecting another mini house bubble to cause a mini recession. Actually, like at the end of last year.
look at the interest rate. Look what this has done to it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
like
insane.
August is what they predicted. Then they pushed it a little bit further for like another recession, but they weren't expecting a virus to cause it.
Feds keep slashing it, guys. We could all buy a house together.
Oh my God! Then we get podcasts forever,
The
got money
Downriver
invest.
Degenerates house coming soon, baby. Let's go.
bro. We
Let's
could have
go.
a Big Ten house like Logan Paul.
Invest in these stocks that are discounted now.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, right now is like the greatest time to get into like stocks and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff like that, dude. That's what people don't understand. It's like all the money you're getting from this, like unemployment and the check and all this stuff, like the stimulus package. Like, use that money wisely. Just don't go out and spend it on Amazon and shit. Like, actually save it.
Right.
You
I have a
see
question.
Amazon's under fire because they won't close.
Yeah, I seen
I
that.
have a question for you
Yeah.
guys. Do you guys think that when this is all over, a lot of Americans are going to lean more to buying American products?
More than likely.
Think so?
Yeah, I
I
would
just
hope
want to
so.
see like
Anyways,
what happens after this because I read an article today like how the world changed substantially after the Black Plague back in 1300,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
1350. It said like I think King Henry VIII at the time, like when it started, he literally locked himself in his room for 6 years straight and didn't let anybody in.
damn.
But I guess everything changed after that, and that led to the Industrial Revolution. And like everybody's wages tripled, kind of like the people who were like kind of seen as like peasants and like low workers, and like those were the people who ended up getting like 3-time wage boosts, and like everything just changed.
Right.
That's
Damn.
what
I
led to
think
the Industrial
that's-
Revolution.
I think our not just our generation, because like if you would have told me at the beginning of the year, like, hey, this is what's going to happen to you and everyone you know, and it's going to affect everything. I think it's going to change our way of life for a little bit. I think it's really going to make everybody take a step back and say, okay, things change. Things inside the government need to change. Like they need to do a better job. Like we need to rely on ourselves more, and it's going to be a real eye opener.
You would think that the government had a better protocol for something like this. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing though.
Don't
You
you?
can't really have it.
Exactly.
You don't.
know what's going to happen, but it's crazy. Like now you see this stuff happening, and look what like people are going crazy.
Yeah, you really don't know what to do with a something that could turn into an endemic.
Right.
Like the flu, nobody knew. Black Plague, nobody knew.
Right.
I remember when I came home from school, or like I came home from work, and it was on the news, and they said, China has locked down the city just for this virus.
Mm-hmm.
It's potentially hazardous. They know nothing about it. And I remember they going to work, and no one talked about it. Now you go into work, and you got to get your temperature scanned. They mark your name down. You got to be very careful. They log everywhere you go, who you come in contact with. Like, it's
That's
crazy
insane.
how and everything can change in a matter of weeks.
So, Joe, you being in police, do they take precautions anywhere where you work, or not really? Because you come in contact with a lot of people all day.
So one thing that they've definitely implemented and they've done a really good job with is they check everybody's temperature. Obviously, you try to stay 6 feet away, wash your hands, hand sanitizer, don't touch your face. But I know a lot of other law enforcement agencies, what they do is because like in law enforcement, like you're in and out of your car, you come in contact with people day in and day out. Like I know some police departments that officers are not even like they're just responding to runs. Like they're not even like because they got to be careful too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They
But
can't pull.
I would be interested to see on how this affects people in the military. Like what's the
Yeah.
military doing for you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I see
Especially-
that. The police
Yeah.
aren't going to pull over somebody right now for going 5 over. It's not worth the risk. You know what I'm saying?
Been hauling ass on 94. We're going like 95 on that bitch.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You're about to pull me over or some dumb shit.
Right.
I got Corona. I go as fast as I want.
Yeah, there's been memes all over the place about that. They just have a sign on the window that says, "I have Corona."
I saw that.
I'm like, damn, bro, people are taking advantage of this. Damn, bro, that's crazy.
Gotta work the system any way
Yeah,
you
man.
can.
And that's the same thing with like my job is like, because it's practically like a retail job almost, because you can literally walk in, buy your tools, and you have to go inside regardless to get your order.
Right.
So everyone's coming in contact with everyone, and right now they're quarter staffed. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why you guys just don't, shut it down. I get like it's, money thing, but like as far as like safety precaution, there shouldn't be anybody in that store, like even
And
walking
like, you
in.
don't know what your coworkers are doing at home. Like that's the other thing too.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
even though we're short staffed and we did a couple layoffs on some people, I don't know what the fuck you're doing at home. Probably like playing with your dick and rubbing your face with it or some shit, dude. I don't want you coming to work with that bullshit.
No, Eli, I was telling them how, like, especially in the trades, you know, they try to implement 6 feet apart.
It's impossible
But
sometimes.
in the trades, you really like, hey man, I need help. Like, I need 2 people to stand right next to each other while I do this. You know, it's almost impossible a lot. So it's hard to implement that in a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
I just
That's-
feel for healthcare workers, man, right now.
Yeah, they're
That's
like
scary.
they're like the Marines right now, frontline warriors.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
healthcare and first responders, man. God bless them.
That's like my coach, dude. Like my bodybuilding coach, him and his wife are both nurses, and they have a little girl,
Right.
and they're working with people that have this virus like all day. And I'm just like, bro, like, I really hope it doesn't get to the point where the little girl catches it. And, you know, they have a lot of older family members and stuff like that. So it's like, it's crazy.
I've actually heard a lot of things about how younger children don't show many signs of it. Because
Yeah,
they
I don't know.
Because they have the cold so much or something, I read.
I believe it. Especially because they're so young. So they're like still developing like a lot. Even we are. I mean, we're, you know, even though we're like in our 20s, we're still, you know, moving up. And we're still.
Nobody's immune to it. It's not like they're not catching it. It's just they're more asymptomatic. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That makes
it's the same level of immunity to every single person.
Right. Damn, dude.
Technically 0.
Yeah. We're living a weird life. Like I've never been going so crazy inside my house.
Dude, I can't fucking. Oh my god.
I don't even want to know what happens when school's done, man. That's the only thing that's keeping me sane because like I'm just grinding every day getting shit done.
Yeah. Like it's gotten to the point where it's like my dad has like this flooring that he's had in his truck, and now I'm literally about to install it in my room because I really don't know what else to do at this point. It's like might as well do upgrades in my room at this point.
I never thought I'd be
That's
so
what I
happy
did,
my
baby.
fence post fell. I was like, yeah, that shit fell. Let's go out there and fix it.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's do it.
I was digging out cement holes like yesterday. I was like, fucking 4 feet deep. Who pours 4 foot of cement? Like,
I knew it was bad when me and Solo stayed up until 8:30 in the morning on Xbox. I'm like, bro, I haven't done this since middle school.
Yeah, dude.
you're waking up like 2:30, like, you feel bad, but then you know you got nothing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're.
bro. That's why I do not want to hear like, because my parents don't really like bitch at me, like depending what time I get up and stuff like. Now that I'm older, but like I'm thinking to myself like I better not hear one word said to me about me staying up late and me going to bed late, all this crap. I'm like, nah, G.
I ain't doing shit tomorrow, bro.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
I'm like crazy to that shit.
That's
Like,
crazy.
my mom's boyfriend went out one time, to get something real quick, and when he came in, I was like hitting him with the hand sanitizer at the door.
You got to, bro.
Imagine
Trust
he comes
trust-
in with,
Yeah,
"Oh, bro,
and I
here's
sent him straight to the sink.
like
He was
Lysol."
Hand
40
sanitizer.
seconds.
40 seconds.
He come in, dap me up. You just start spraying him in the face with Lysol.
No, I've been pretty good though. Just
That'll be the new
I don't
game.
know about you guys. Like when I order my groceries now, they come in and I still like run that because everything we get's like soup cans, so it's metal. Nothing's really like boxed up, it's bagged. So I kind of run it under the sink still for like under hot water when I'm like unloading my.
All the
Well, yeah.
package stuff, like I was telling these guys earlier, all the packages my mom gets from like Walmart or Amazon, like she read that this virus, if anybody comes in contact with it, it can stay alive on cardboard for 3 days. So she
Yeah.
splits it and we wipe it down and we leave it outside for a day.
Yeah, me too.
Open it outside and no matter what's in it, we come in, we bring it in and we wash it and dispose of the box outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I got really nervous because right when this shit hit, they were like, yeah, this COVID lives on steel for 3 weeks. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's
I've been
crazy,
getting-
dude.
I've been getting steel. I'm like, I've been getting steel from China for fucking 2 months.
Yeah, bro, like a lot of the stuff we get at my job is like from China. Like these face masks and all this other shit is from China. And like when this virus started happening, I started looking at these boxes differently. I was
Yeah.
like, Hell no, dude. I don't trust it.
That's like another change I think that's gonna happen. Like people are changing daily, like things
Yeah,
they
dude.
do, and I think it's gonna become habit to where like a year from now you're still gonna be putting packages in the garage for a day.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I started
People are
welding with
so-
my
you're gonna
feet
see-
and shit. I'm trying to
It'll be
touch the
interesting to
steel.
see how people act afterwards. Like, are
Yeah,
they
like
still-
people are I'm running in the street, like I out of courtesy, I'll like when I'm running down the sidewalk, I'll just like go in the middle of the street when somebody's on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like it's like people just look at each other differently.
You're gonna
Nobody's
see
gonna be shaking their hand.
down the street, just bolt and run across the street.
I don't know, bro. I've been doing elbows with people or air high fives.
It's not
It's
even
like-
like that anymore. People are just fucking afraid to come in contact with people.
So what's up, dude?
Oh, dude.
But yeah, dude, like fucking I think the hospitals are doing like a pretty good job now because like they've called me today. They called me this morning when I got up. I was in
Call
the
me
bathroom.
sometime.
Yeah, they called me. They're like, because since I got the test, they called me and they're like, "Are you having any more symptoms? You know, blah blah blah, this and that." I'm like, "No, I'm chilling. I'm good." And then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna call you back in about 2 weeks just to keep checking." I'm like, "Okay, that's weird, but all right, I get it though. It's what you gotta do though, because I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that have it, but they just don't want to go to the hospital, and they
Oh,
don't
right.
want to like get checked
Yeah.
out or anything like that. They just kind of go off precaution, and I'm
They
like,
don't want to be because they don't want to be known as a threat.
yeah, exactly. Because that's the way they look at like even my doctor. Like she made it seem like I was a threat. And then like makes you feel very uncomfortable and makes you like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Oh,
crazy thing with this one now too is like when people had the flu, like they didn't even give a shit. They're like, I had the flu, I was out for a couple days. And now like people are going on social media, I see now like COVID was like a sexually transmitted disease or something. They're like afraid to say it, but when they do, they feel like they're just like it's crazy, man, to see like it's kind of like a strength move, like just showing your
right.
I don't know.
No, it is. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
That's wild, dude.
Like,
Yeah, it's like people are afraid to say they had it because everybody looks at everybody differently now.
right.
Like if I had the flu, everybody's like, "Oh, you feeling better, man? You good, right?" Yeah. Now when people have COVID, everybody's like, "Oh shit, they had COVID."
I'm not seeing you for 5 months, bro. You better stay the
Yeah.
fuck away from me.
Yeah. I think that's like what my family's kind of lacking on is they're still letting our neighbors come over and all this shit. Which I mean, they're our neighbors and they're like their best friends and stuff, but it's like that's like the other day, like my brother was supposed to come by with his daughter, with my niece, and he was like, they're always letting people in the house, so I'm not gonna even bother like bringing her over there.
I don't see my best friends. Fuck.
Honestly, dude.
I know I've been annoying the fuck out of you guys about that social distancing. So, like, Justin's like, man, come do something. Social distancing, bro. Not even dealing with that shit. Not even dealing with it right now, bro.
I'm just going fucking insane, dude. Like,
I'm bored. Ain't my problem, bro.
Yeah. I don't know when this like podcast is gonna be like in person, but hopefully soon. But we'll just keep our distance. I mean, we kind of have to anyways because of the microphones, but we're gonna try and do an actual proper podcast soon. But this is kind of what we have to work with right now. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
no, I see. No, I see.
No, that's
Joe smokes. No,
Let's go.
I mean,
everybody in Downriver right
well,
now is
here's
probably
one-
itching to go whiskey on the waters and Big League Brews. Like, I haven't been in Big League Brews in forever.
I just want to go drink Coronas and throw darts, bro.
Go to
What
whiskey
the
on the
hell?
water.
Man, I haven't
Well, here's
seen
my
the river
question.
in weeks.
Have you guys like picked up on anything that you haven't or like started again since this like quarantine thing started happening, like the social distancing thing?
What do you
Like
mean?
other than just playing video games. Like me, I've been trying to learn more code because I'm going for cybersecurity. So I've been trying to learn that and kind of upping my skill level with that.
And
I've
now's the
literally
perfect time
busted
to
out
learn
all the
anything.
homework and I just work out in my garage. Kill
There you
time.
go.
Now's the time to really kind of capitalize on something you don't know to kind of get ahead where you want to be. Like, I know
Yeah,
people who
exactly.
work with like FL Studio, like the mixing software. Now that's all they're doing.
Yeah, dude.
Now they have
It's
have
time.
crazy.
I have like the test of my career in September. I just been studying up on that stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what you gotta do. I feel like especially like for people, I mean, just everything's on the internet, you know? It's like you can learn anything on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's like find something to do, like to kill time, and time will fly that way. Like even though we're just playing video games, that time is flying like crazy.
Like, learn how to go fix something in your house. I know there's something wrong with everybody's house. I know there has to be. You got to go learn how to
Yeah,
fix
some
something.
of y'all's houses like out there be smelling like
Toilet, dog.
shit, bro.
Go learn how to go clean the bottom of your toilet, like the bottom of the thing. Not the bowl, not inside, the bottom around the outside. Get down there.
This is a good time for Coomer to clean up his house.
Yeah, like I went
Damn,
upstairs.
man.
Oh,
Like ever
Yeah.
since my dad passed, we turned upstairs into a storage. I cleared it all the way out. There's not like a damn thing up there except for 2 TVs. I went up there and like polished the wood and shit.
Yeah, dude.
damn.
One thing I don't know, a lot of people like they may not realize it, but like it's cool kind of being able to do stuff like this with with the boys and stuff because like
Yeah.
when
We gotta
everybody's
work-
working, it's pretty hard to get together and do stuff.
Right, and especially because like
The time that we can to do stuff, and you take those
yes,
for granted.
And the last
Right.
time I seen you guys in person was at Eli's birthday party.
June 13th.
Yeah, dude.
When was that? Like, was that last year or the year before? Was that 19?
Last
Yeah,
time.
it's 2019. Yeah.
We'll get ready for the summer because once the quarantine's over,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mid
yeah, and that's another thing we're gonna try and implement.
That's
I don't know where we're gonna post the vlogs at.
maybe
we're
get
trying
your
to figure
friend
that
out.
out.
We'll fun together.
But yeah, we're gonna go up north and go on trips and stuff like that eventually, and we're gonna try and post more vlogs and more podcasts, stuff like that. Now, especially because of my new job, I have weekends off, so it's a lot easier to do things now. So it's gonna be nice. Hopefully, this shit's over with.
Yeah, man. We're
You
gonna
never
go-
know, man. I heard vaccines and shit won't even happen for another year or two, so who
Yeah.
knows?
How long it usually takes? 12 to 18 months.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I feel bad for the people that like can't go to school or like can't work and they're just stuck at home doing nothing. Like
Yeah, bro.
like they can't even like further their education.
Some
Like
people love it.
just at standstill.
That's why,
Some
like,
people love not doing anything though.
let me, like, I always want to ask you guys this since, like, I still have it, like, I still work. Like, what the fuck, like, do you guys do, like, on a daily basis? Like,
Nothing, bro.
nothing.
I
See,
literally like
my
because
job. I have job security.
yeah, that's true.
Like,
Like I would literally get up because I mean lately my sleep schedule's completely thrown out the door. Like it's got COVID or some shit. Like my shit's fucked. Like I literally wake up
Yeah.
almost every day at like 2:30, bro. It's bad.
Yeah,
And
oh, yeah.
like I would like but normally like before it got screwed up, I would get up and I would like go on YouTube and just like watch tutorials on like ethnical hacking and all this other stuff that I'm trying to learn to more towards my
Ethnical.
degree. Ethnical hacking, right?
Dude.
Ethnical.
Ethical, whatever.
Ethnical.
Ethical
Ethnic?
hacking and
I
like
just
Ethnic-
fill your social security ethical
Eth-
way.
ethical.
Ethnic
But,
hacking.
yeah,
What do
just
you
I mean,
hack?
like whatever, like because I know a lot of people are in school, and I really do feel like after this virus, it's gonna make people want to do more online schooling because they realize it's kind of relaxing staying at home.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like I can't stand doing these online classes because I feel like I learn nothing from it. I don't know if it's just me. I'm more of like a visual learner. Like I would like to be in a classroom where I can ask questions and shit.
Right.
But I don't know.
Me
That's
Pros
just
and cons. Like as crappy as that is, saying like, I mean, I think because I like being in a classroom, I like asking questions because I think I learn better that way. But online, I think the workload it's increased, but it's also taught me a new way to experience online schooling. Because like
Yeah.
my college career, I've gone to school. I've never done online schooling, so I think it's
Right.
new for professors and kids that I go to school with. But I also think that it's a new learning experience, and it's a good thing to just another thing that you can learn and have under your belt.
right. And then you have those that are gonna just look for all the answers online.
Yep.
And which with some degrees you can probably get by with it, but me and Justin were talking about it the other night. Like in cybersecurity and like when it comes to working on like coding and learning all these different tricks and stuff like that, when you get onto the job field, like you have to be passionate about that degree. Like with some degrees, like you have to know how to perform on the job.
Yeah.
And that's with anything, but when it comes to like technical stuff like this, you can't just get a certification in, let's say like C++ or like Python or, in networking and then you can't do it on the job because you looked up all the answers. You know, that's my only issue
Yeah,
with like
that's why-
online schooling.
That's why college is kind of a joke, man. People just try to go to get a grade and a degree and a piece of paper, and that's it, man. Like, if you look way back in the day, like,
your employer doesn't even care that you got my employer is not going to say, you know, how come you got a B plus in your math class your sophomore year of college? They're going to say, do you have your bachelor's? Yes or no.
Yeah.
All I'm asking is that piece
literally,
of paper.
people are just going to school now, and it's kind of crazy because I did that internship in Northwestern Mutual for like financial planning, and like I learned so much on the job training there. I have license in like life accident health and a bunch of other licenses I got through them, and I went back to class and ended up taking financial planning class, and I got an A without even like reading anything because I knew it. And it's what's crazy is you go to these classes and it's just teachers just reading straight out of PowerPoints and books, and then you get your degree. But then when you go to the job, it's like everything's so different because it's just different from class learning to when you go on.
That's what's cool
Yeah.
about trades, though, because in the trades you gotta you learn on the spot under pressure, or you're just you're not gonna happen. Like you're not gonna make it.
I also feel like
No.
with the whole like finding, you know, doing like basically cheating your way through is like I feel like it depends on the professors too. Because like my problem with my programming class, you can literally find like from like he's literally taking it from the book to us, and you can literally like look up one of the questions, and the whole code that you need to put in is on there. And he's got all these PowerPoints and stuff like that for that, but people are not going to look at that. That's why I like my other professor, my cybersecurity professor, because he goes off by his own like outline and or rubric type deal, like his own thing, because he like the way he puts the questions, and you can't find them online. It's straight from the book, and he puts it in his own words and stuff like that because he knows that people are doing that. So I feel like
Another reason why
Freestyle
that's like I'm just singing Lil Baby's playing in my ear. Like he has a listening party right now that's going on Spotify, but he just keeps looping the album. I don't know why. But college sucks too. Another reason why I don't like it is because it's just standardized testing, so people are just memorizing stuff for a test.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that you're talking about, how people cheat and they'll look up that code. When you get to your on the job and actually doing stuff, all that resources are there for you already. You have people around you that will tell you how to code. You have the code there for you. It's not like Justin said, trade on the spot. You either learn it or you don't, or you're fired. That's it. When you go to code or anything like that, like everything's there for you with the resources. So like they just keep feeding it. They don't want to fire you because it costs them more to let you go than it does for them just to keep training you.
Well, because like one of my first jobs, like you either learn it or you're okay. You can't do it. Fine, bye. You know.
Yeah.
It's just there's no choice.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's how you learn, though. You learn on the spot. You get really good at it if you're under pressure. You know.
How does it law enforcement, man? Learn the streets, be a good report writer.
Yeah.
That was a lot of jobs though, but like you saying, like trade, it's like right then and there. Like for like law enforcement, you're getting prepped when you're going for criminal justice and stuff like that. Same with anything, really. You kind of get prepped all the way up to there. But like I said, when you're actually in the field, like I'm sure there's stuff you see in the field that you weren't even taught in school.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you're always gonna learn more on the job than you did in all of school.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why I feel like the whole high school system needs to change, because that shit, you're learning so much bullshit you're not even gonna like even touch or see.
Think about
Bitch,
it.
I don't even do algebra nowadays. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
I feel like in high school you should tell them
even like it's not even like gonna happen that way. Like it's gonna happen a certain way that you're gonna have to learn from.
Yeah.
You know, you can train style A the whole time, but what are you gonna do when style B hits you and you didn't prepare for it at all? Then you're gonna have to adapt. You're gonna have to learn it and be like, wow, you know.
And that's the sad part when it comes to technology, because shit's always changing every year. Like technology and all these like businesses and companies and stuff like that, it's constantly like changing every year or by month, by week, or anything. Like there's always some new system that's happening, and that's the problem with like technology too. Like if you're in the tech field, is because like you're always having to learn new things, and if you're not willing to be passionate about, and this can go with any like job or degree you're going for, then you know, you're pretty much out of the loop at that point. Like you need to have a drive for what you're going for.
The thing with Joe is that, I mean, I don't know, law enforcement pretty much has a stable base. You know what I'm saying? Like, not much will change. Like, there might be more on the computer, but I mean, it's not really going to change that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still going to have the base, you know, defend your county or whatever, you know? But, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like this whole virus outbreak shit, like, it's going to really, like, help people think of what they really want to do, because all they have is time on their hands at this point, and they can really look at, you know, what they want to do, and if what they're choosing is exactly what they want.
Yeah, and people should look at who's working right now to see what the essential jobs are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the internet has everything, bro.
Because literally, like, that goes to the point right there. The essential jobs, back in that Black Plague, Black Death, whatever you want to call it, those are the ones that tripled in wages after this. It was all said and done. So you're going to look at those essential workers, and you never know. Those wages might jump up for those jobs.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot into it. People just go to school for that paper, but they don't look at the, you know, the outside things and what you're really going to go into.
What sucks to me is I read so much right now about, like, how, like you guys were saying, like, America kind of wants to rely on their own manufacturing now. There's a degree for supply chain management at my school, and it's people who literally control supply routes that come from, like, China, like, logistics all the way up to where, like, meets the end user or the customer, and, like, they're saying, like, that career might be, like, in jeopardy right now if that really happens.
That's crazy.
A lot of the jobs might actually be reduced in that career field, and it's a new career field too. Like, within the last decade, it came of, like, fruition.
That's wild.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, this virus, dude, is just fucking everything.
Holy fuck.
You gotta find something that's timeless, man. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta find something you're always gonna need.
Yeah, and that's why I'm, like, glad I got into technology when I was younger, bro, because it's like, everything's gonna be computerized at this point. So that's why I'm like,
You popping perks right now?
Jesus.
Jesus box is just the front.
Fighting the humans.
We've been going for 1 hour and 13 minutes, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it at all.
No, but I'm glad that it's so good, man. And cybersecurity, a lot of that shit on the dark web and deep web really fucked me up, dude. The human trafficking and that shit's weird, man.
Yeah. We can talk a whole 3 million years on that shit, bro.
Yeah, the surface deep and dark web.
Yeah, we'll do a separate podcast on that for sure.
I just got graded on a article I submitted and had to write about. I got full points on it. That's what my grade just came through. It was on the dark web.
Yeah, that could be our next podcast, is on the dark web and just technology and shit like that. Because I don't know. There's so much more to talk about it. It's ridiculous.
The Tor, good old onion router.
Yeah, good old onion router. Jumps between like 6 different IPs. It's insane.
I think this has been a good first podcast for sure.
100%.
You could go on hours on that shit, man. That shit's ridiculous. Me and Solus literally sat there and talked about it for 3.5 hours. Easy.
Yeah.
Then I just got tired and I fell asleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
Hell yeah, dude.
You guys gonna get back on later?
Probably.
Yeah, right now.
I'm on right now, bitch. What up?
Right now. I was like, no, I'm a unit worker.
No, I don't work tomorrow. I work fucking 40 hours now. It just sucks.
You working tomorrow?
Man,
I don't work tomorrow.
I love 40 hours, dude.
It's garbage, dude. I feel like I want to be one of those guys that, like, dude, I don't want to fucking go home. I don't want to go home with my wife. My wife bitches at me. Like, dude, I hate being at home, to be honest. Like, bro, like, I want to go fucking work. And that's, like, some of the drive that some kids, like, nowadays don't have anymore, which is fucking sad, you know?
Yeah.
Really, I don't know.
It's kind of bad, dude.
It is weird when you're working like 60 plus hours.
Exactly. Like, so, you know, hey, go home. What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Then you go to 40s, and then you get your check, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I was like, you fucking kidding me?
One last thing too, you know what's gonna change? I know I graduated in 2011, long ass time ago.
80-year-olds.
Like
Right when
1,000
I
years
got
old,
out
bro.
of right when I got out of school though, the recession was still kind of like it was kind of dying down, but it was still going full force to where like it was hard to find a job. I remember it was really tough times like financially with just me and my family alone. And a lot of the people that were born like 2003, they're kind of going to that era right now where they're graduating. Like my cousin's graduating high school right now, and like I wonder how this is going to impact their financial thought. Like even to this day, like almost 10 years later, I'm still thinking like I don't want to buy this, and it's only $10. I'll be like I don't want to buy it because I don't know if I'll have money later down the road. When I know I could damn well afford it and fucking love the shit out of it. It's just that mind in the back of your mind, it's like it fucked you up. That's what I'm saying. I wonder what this is gonna do to people now that
I'm
are
the same way, man.
Exactly, yeah.
Exact way.
kind of going into the job force and they see these jobs aren't there, and then all of a sudden they're like, fuck. And then when they finally get that one job, even though it might be low paying at the time, they're just gonna take it, and you never know they're gonna work there their entire life, you know?
Yeah. It's bad. Like a lot of people are. I feel like they're gonna start settling for less, and they're just gonna take what's thrown at them. They're not gonna
happened 10
think
years
twice.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad for the kids that can't even like our senior year was lit, bro. We got to go to prom, all this shit. These kids were like, okay, well, you know, because over here they banned, like they didn't ban, but they're like, okay, kids aren't going to school for the rest of the year. So now these seniors and shit can't even like, you know, experience prom or senior pranks and all this shit.
Or even their final season of high school sports.
Yeah, dude.
That's
shitty.
I didn't give a shit about any of that. I don't know. I mean, I did.
All I
I
know-
mean, I could have lived my whole life without going to prom, or even being in my senior year. I was never there. I didn't give a shit ever.
Right.
But some people, it's different. They're really involved in school or whatever. But
Yeah, and like especially because like I know like and like the juniors like have to take the SATs and shit, and they can't. You know, like how are they gonna get into these big schools? I don't know if these big schools are gonna be like, okay, well because this happened, you can get in type deal.
right.
You know, because
Well,
now
they
they
have a lot
can't.
of things
show-
they could look at too. I mean,
Yeah,
SAT does not
yeah.
only get you in there. They look at extracurriculars. They look at if you were.
involved.
Like a 2.9 gets into Harvard. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you need like over a 4 to get into Harvard. You need like a 4.05.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Key tip: if you go to apply for a school after the age of 22, they don't look at your SAT or ACT scores.
Oh really?
Yep. They just want your money.
Pros of
I,
being old.
when I got accepted to Eastern and they didn't even check out mine. They
Yeah,
didn't
no,
even check.
check mine.
They didn't even want my high school transcript.
Well, that's
Everywhere I
even with
applied to,
college
they don't.
too. If you want to transfer now, they just look at what you did in college. They don't even look at high school at that point. Like when you want to
your
transfer to another college.
And like on your resume now, they don't. I don't even put high school on there. You're not even supposed to put high school on your resume.
Oh really?
They
Oh,
didn't,
damn.
wait, they didn't look at yours, Joe?
Nope.
Damn, they wanted mine. Shit. Wow.
He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
You're like 12 years old though, bro. You're like,
my, like,
12 years old.
you're like 13 years old, bro. That's why they're like, damn, who's this young ass kid coming and trying to fucking do this shit?
Yo, Justin.
Hi, my name is Justin Hanson. I'm here to. Yeah, let me see your fucking. Yeah, let me see your transcript.
Like, yeah, let me see that shit.
Come over here.
They're like, run it.
Run it real quick.
You ain't fooling anyone.
You got a 1.9? Denied.
I want a weld.
Like, all right.
That's funny. Damn, man, that's crazy.
Solus, what's the time limit you usually let these go till?
Some people go for an hour, hour and a half. We're at 120 right now.
Ain't bad.
Ain't bad at all.
So like, what is your guys' like fucking first thing you're gonna do after this shit goes out? Like,
Fucking, I think we should go on that trip that we were talking about.
oh yeah, that trip.
Fort Lauderdale,
We're
dude.
going Olive Garden.
Fort Lauderdale, dude. Especially
To be
because
honest-
Justin turns 21 this year. Let's go.
You're being quarantined, Justin. You'd be fucked. You can drink tap water off the fucking
Drink
I know.
tap water.
I'm gonna have-
drink tap water.
Put a little
Here-
rubbing
here's my-
alcohol in.
Here's my shot of hand sanitizer.
Shot of hand
21
sanitizer.
points.
Yeah, dude, what are you gonna chase that water with? More water?
We're water, bro.
Ice Mountain on the rocks.
Right? That's funny.
Yeah, man. I mean, whatever.
I don't know, man. I think
Whatever, man.
I don't even like trust gyms. Like I think the cool thing, like I'm kind of like in a good situation when it comes to the gym, is because my family owns a boxing gym. So, and we have like 3 like bench sets there, and we have like literally dumbbells all the way up to 70 pounds, which is nice. So I think this is gonna give me like a good opportunity to really deck that gym out to the way I like it, because no one there touches the weights because they're all boxers. And so now I can like, it's gonna save me money at the end of the day. I can cancel my gym memberships and I can just work out at my family gym for free. So I'll be
Honestly,
chilling.
Joe, better topic, Joe. When you had your hat like this on the camera, it looked like you had a Google hat on.
That's funny. But yeah, man, we'll see how everything goes.
Because I was really hyped for this fucking podcast, and I mean it's all right. I mean, I'm fortunate that we have this platform to do it on, like doing camera or whatever. But it'll be cool in person.
Yeah, it'll be a lot better, especially because we literally bought the whole setup. We got the mics, the XLR mics. What's up?
We're gonna have to get that part so David and John can come.
Yeah, we got to buy that little external part. Him and David can really pitch half and half for it then at this point if they want.
David 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, you're the best.
I'm just messing with
Damn, Kumar joined back up.
John takes out a loan and Dave starts charging him interest on it.
I will 100%.
Oh, he will. He will 100%. You have
I charge
to, bro.
interest on all. Anything I loan out now, I'm charging interest.
Yeah, dude.
You'll have the percentages on lock, bro.
He starts charging man. 4% every month.
1.5.
Yeah, George is pissed. What the hell, bro?
David
That's
texts
a credit card.
David texts or catch a stimulus check.
That's crazy.
I wonder how Coomer's gonna act with a stimulus check. That's my next question.
He's gonna buy that lift kit on his fucking Escape.
It's 12-inch lift kit.
12-inch lift kit.
That's what you
Hey.
don't do on this quarantine life is spend your fucking money on dumb shit.
That's the thing. Like I need to like work on with him is like I need to stop telling him like I'm gonna do this. Like not like I'm gonna say like, hey, I think Coomer, you should do this, and this, and he's just gonna do it. I said, hey, I'll help you put in a lift kit. He's like, all right, man, it's like $500. I'll buy it like in the next couple of weeks. I'm like, oh fuck, like damn, I should just get my mouth shut.
Oh, honestly, okay, most lit. Okay, vlog we're gonna have. Eli's gonna bring his GoPro, and we're gonna go fucking quad run, dude, on those
Hell yeah.
badass trails.
That's sick.
I'm hyped.
Yeah, I can record behind the scenes. Eli's got the GoPro. I'll just throw it in the vlog. That should be sick.
You get that fucking harness though.
First day, Eli's gonna flip off his quad.
I still haven't flipped it. I had that bitch
Did
on
you-
2 wheels, upside down, going down the hill. I had it going down the hill. I'm still alive.
Which GoPro do you have?
You should have seen
I
him.
have.
Dude.
Actually,
Was it the
what do I have?
7?
Yeah, like the little black one. Little black one was at the 7.
Okay. Oh, okay. You have the
Yeah.
black. Yeah, the black. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one then. All right, cool, perfect.
Like the little square one. That's all I have. Yeah.
I cannot stress enough how scared I was. I saw Eli literally doing a wheelie on the steepest hill I've ever seen in my life. I can't tell you how scared I was. Oh my god.
This is
Those
a real
hills-
moment. This is a real moment.
He jumps
Eli-
out, goes, yeah, that's fine, and Coomer's just like,
Eli
like-
looks down. Eli looks down at me from the top of the hill. He goes, "Hey man, don't come up here, dog."
I thought you were about to hit it.
No, because I was sitting there going, "I'm gonna hit this hill. I'm gonna get it." He's like, "No,
No, you're
don't
not.
come up here." It was called
That was
Devil's.
fishy.
It was called Devil's Hole.
That's funny.
Oh man. So Solus, you gotta get a quad, man.
I know, bro. That shit looks so fun.
That's your next step.
Honestly.
Joe. So, who's your tweet about when you said missing you a little extra tonight?
We're starting to call people out. I like it. I like it.
oh, leave me alone.
Here's the mic.
This is where we end the podcast.
He didn't even put the emoji, bro. He just put like the little. No, he said So yeah, he's like,
That's funny.
You guys suck, dude.
I love you, Joe.
What is
Hate-
this,
He said, I'm
Joe
sad
on Joe
tonight.
Day?
Because I'm very
What is
sad.
this?
I'm missing you a little extra.
Aw. Aw. How do you guys put emojis on this thing?
But yeah, I mean, we can end it off here if you guys want, since we kind of got everything out of the way.
Fine.
Buddy, be safe.
Yep.
Yep,
All
man.
right.
Stay
I'm
safe.
Well,
Wash your foreskin.
Hold
Wash
on.
your back of your ears.
Oh.
I want to
Watch
leave. Yeah, I
everything.
gotta do an outro here, Coach.
Wash everything, bro. Fucking bleach your skin. I don't give a fuck what y'all do. Don't touch me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess this concludes our first podcast. But we're gonna try and post these like by the weekend when we all get together and stuff. But I don't know if the next one's gonna be in person or if it's gonna be over this platform again. And we have to record it through like Skype with their recording system. I was gonna record it through NVIDIA, but it gives me like a 20-minute cap, so I kind of can't do it that way. But hopefully you guys liked it. But I guess we're gonna go off by the Downriver Degenerates because we're from Downriver in Michigan, so that kind of gives you the name. But I don't know what the next. I don't know if the next
Need
next podcast might be. Yeah, the next podcast might be about like technology or whatever. We're gonna try and find something, and eventually, when this shit's like kind of slows down, we go on trips and stuff, and I'm gonna vlog everyone.
We're talking the dark web next.
Listen.
Be ready.
We
Yeah,
had this
dark
offer
web.
up for 2019. If any of you fucks in Downriver are watching this, still to this day, this offer's still up. If you can outdrink me and Justin Hansen, we'll give you $100. The offer is still up.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
go.
The offer is still
And I'm
fucking up.
dropping names. I'm dropping names. Brian Richards, Dustin Chubbs. They lost. Somebody come at me.
We want your fucking call your daddy, your uncle, your grandpa, call all your alcoholic fucking family members. They will get the smoke.
Call me.
Oh, baby. Let's go.
All right.
All
See you
right,
later,
boys.
guys.
Yeah, you guys have
Peace.
a good one. And this should go up probably tomorrow or Sunday, depending whenever you're watching this. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Take it easy.